Welcome everyone for the OTD video. Now, this will not be that different compared to the HRE, but it still will be different. Now, there are like few playstyles that you can do with the OTD. You can go early on to the deer, so you need to just look for the deer wherever the deer is around your base. You can send out the villagers and you can gather the deer meat. Or we can do the basic stuff like gathering sheep. And we are not sending 3 villagers like with the HRE, because with HRE we send 3 villagers to the gold, we send 3 villagers to the food. Now OTT is a little bit more linear. You don't need to do crazy stuff, but you can do crazy stuff. This, what I'm showing to you, is gonna be just an early build order that really friendly and casual welcome. No crazy pro scouting, no crazy TC, etc. You can do those as well, but again, if someone wish to play with OTD the first time, they like to play like basically with like a basic knowledge, and after that you will just get better and better. So what we are doing, just like every other serialization, we will do the 8-2. If let's say you found your early deer pack, you can send the 5 starting villager to the deer pack and you can get to the deer. There's no problem doing that. I think that's perfectly fine. If you wish to do that, just do it. Nothing can stop you. It's not bad, it's fine, but again, we like to make everything simple and normal. So let's stick with the gold rule of having 8-2. Okay, 8-2-8-2. Keep saying the same thing. 8-2-8-2-8-2. So now with the OTD, you actually don't need that many villagers to age up. You can age up even with 1 villager. The reason behind that, because your villagers takes a lot of time to make, but they are working much faster than every other civilization. So that's really nice. Now OTD has a great warrior of units, which means your units have double the population, which also already sounds scary, right? So it has double the population and not really double the stats, but some units has double the stats, but not all of them. Like maybe double the HP or maybe double the DPS. So what you can do with OTD, you can put a few villager on wood while aging up, and you can start making farms. Nice, isn't it? So we are aging up with 1 villager. We will hit a really good age up timing. You will see. Not a bad age up timing at all. And you can already make farms while aging up. And you just have 5 villager on wood. You don't need to rush up the wheelbarrow like crazy fast. Of course, it's always a nice thing to have. But what I like to do with OTD is slowly building farms during age up timing. Again, we have 3 farms, and it's really good because the OTD villagers get her 28% faster. So again, like English, like HRE, you can do the same thing. Look, we already have 4 farms. And now slowly, when we are finishing the age up, you can build your first production building, right? Which is amazing. Look, the timing is not even bad for the age up. If you hit it like 4:30 or 4:35, that's perfect. That's a perfect age up. You don't have problem with that at all. And what I can do, I can queue up the double brodex and I queue up upgrade from the minework immediately. So let's say I'm playing against the civilization that requires, I don't know, maybe stable, maybe barrack. Of course, based on what civilization you are playing, the production building you have to build, right? So let's see. Let's build a stable first, because let's say we are playing against a civilization that requires horsemen, right? So we can do that. We can just build a stable, and we can queue up the... What's that? We can queue up the horsemen. Okay. So, we can keep making villagers some food, we can keep making farms, and we can queue up the horsemen. Okay. Boom. We have good amount of farms. We can even get the meal, get some upgrades as well. We can get upgrades from the mine work. We can get the double brodex. And we can get out the military unit we need. Slowly, when our opponent will react to like a stable, then we have to build an archer range or we have to build a barrack. It's up to what civilization you are playing. That production building you will build. Horticulture always comes handy as well. And I have only 2 villagers on gold. I suggest you to not make manatoms immediately when you go to the feudal age, but a little bit later on you can make manatoms. Or if you are playing against Delhi, making manatoms are not bad, but you can make horsemen first against Delhi as well, because horsemen is really good. You can upgrade them immediately. So now, this is the basic of playing OOTD. Like, this is the full basic. What I suggest you to do when you are playing OOTD. Again, as you see, I'm building farms, making units. Let's say he's making spearman, I make an archer range, or I can make a barrack as well and make manatorm. So after that, you just need to react how your opponent is reacting to your choices, right? So if he says he has you have a horseman, most likely he will make spearman. If he has stable, most likely you need to build a barrack. So just reacting what the enemy does. That's all. That's all. Alright. So, let's see what else we can talk about. As I said, with OOTD, all your units are stronger and they cost 2 population. Horsemen 2 population, Gilded Knight 2 population, Scout is 1 population, and villagers are 1 population. You can see the stats as well. Not really double as a horseman, not really 2 horsemen, this horseman, but at least the horseman. The HP is a lot, but the damage is not the double. So the DPS of the damage is not the double. So it's basically like 1 horseman with extra HP. That's it. But you play double the amount for every unit you have. The choice of H3 landmarks are pretty crazy huge. So you don't need to play the civilization as like only 1 landmark like HRE currently. Maybe that will change the future for HRE. But for OOTD, both Burgrave and Regnitz are perfect choice. I don't like Aachen Chapel with OOTD, but I love the mine work. You can get Golden Cuirass, which if you fall below 30% HP, the Manathon takes 20% less damage. Which again, that's crazy good. In H3, you can get the Zornhau, which gives you Lanchenekte, an halberd weapon, which is a which will apply a bleeding effect to the villager. Any healing effect will remove the bleed. So what happens? When the Lanchenekte hits a unit, right? Again, when Lanchenekte hits a unit, it will apply a bleeding effect to that unit that will take 20 damage. 2 damage per second for 10 seconds. So you basically give 20 extra damage to your Lanchenekte with this upgrade. So let's say we age up with the burger. And let's activate this as well. Alright. So inside the burger, why is it so different compared to HRE? Because OOTD makes units 35% faster, not 500% faster or 400. 35% faster, 35% cheaper, and research technologies are 35% faster as well, so you can research everything 35% faster. So again, Spearman is cheaper. Let's compare to the prices. A normal Spearman 120.40, Burger 78.26, very cheap. Gilded Momentum 130.26, 240, very cheap. Lash Nectar 120, 200, 7830. Now, as you see, the Lash Nectar has 21 base damage with the Zweihander. If we research the Zornho, then you will see it will get the Albert weapon, which applies the damage that we talk about, the bleeding effect, to the villagers. Now, if I find a few villagers with this AI, I will show you the bleeding effect and why is it so good. Okay, here you go. So he has some villagers here. Let me right click on the villager, let me right click on that villager. So as you see, the bleeding effect is applied and they are losing HP. That villager will die and that villager is still taking damage. The total damage that this villager took is 20. So I did 23 damage and plus 20 damage because of the bleeding effect. So basically I did 43 damage and not 23. Insanely strong. Zorno insanely strong. What else we have? The OOTD. Their archer, even in feudal age, is really strong. 6 base damage, 5.5 tiles of range, and it has 1 attack speed. Now, when you go to Castle Age, this archer can be buffed up like crazy. The archer now has 8 damage in Castle Age and 3 extra ranged armor. Let's go with full upgrades. So the total damages will be 10 damage, total damage, with 8 base damage, 5 ranged armor, because you got 3 from the upgrade, and 2 melee damage. Which means the OOTD archer is crazy strong against other ranged units, because the ranged armor they have. So now, with the OOTD, we can do Inspired Warriors as well. And we can increase the stat of this archer to 6 ranged armor, 3 melee damage, and 12 damage. Wow, crazy, right? Same thing, you can increase the stat of every unit that you have. So you can see 19, 16, 23. Let's buff it with the Prelate. 18, 22, and 26. And also the torch damage for the units are crazy high. So a non-buff unit has 25 torch damage, a buffed unit has 29 torch damage. So they have crazy torch damages. For the Spearman, you have a unique upgrade called Heavy Torches. Gilded Spearman torch deal area effect. That's it. That's all you need to know. What does it mean? Every building that's 2 by 2 will do a damage next to a building. So if I go here and I start torching the farm, because it's a 2 by 2 building, it will do damage to the Arcane Chapel. Watch this. I start torching the farm and it will do damage to the Arcane Chapel. But if I torch the Arcane Chapel, I will not do damage to the farm, because you only do damage when a building is 2 tiles by 2 tiles. So 2 tiles like this and 2 tiles like that. If a building is 2 tiles, then you will do damage. Just like, let me show you on the houses. I'm torching the houses. Farm, house takes damage. This farm is too far away. Look at that. Crazy, isn't it? I destroyed the farm here. I almost destroyed the house as well. Crazy torch damage that they have. So that's what you can do with the Spearman for OOTD, and I think that's crazy that you can do that. For the crossbow, OOTD crossbow is the best. I love OOTD crossbow because they have 18 damage plus 18 against heavy and 6 tiles of range with the same attack speed as Arbaletier. Of course, if you buff it, then it goes up to 21. Well, sadly, the meta is the same thing as HRE. You have to go up with the Palace of Swabia. Well, let's go up with the Palace of Swabia. As I said, for OTD is the same. You make villagers much cheaper and much faster, just like HRE. So this is like you just receive 3 extra TC. That's all it does. For the OOTD, the only units are different compared to the HRE are the basic units, like hand cannoneer, like crossbowman. Oh yo, what is that gang attack over there? So archer, crossbowman, hand cannoneer, launch tractor, manathon, spearman, and knights and horsemen are different compared to HRE. Don't forget the knight has a really good upgrade. Gilded knights take 25% damage less while charging. That's a really good upgrade. For the OOTD hand cannoneer, they are the best hand cannoneer in the game. They are beating even Threadsy in 1 versus 2. They are beating the Malian hand cannoneer in 1 versus 2. They are beating all hand cannoneers. They are like crazy. The reason behind that, because they have 1.5 attack speed with 41 damage, which is really good because most of the hand cannoneers have 38 damage. And you can buff them to have 47 damage. 47 damage with 1.5 attack speed. You can give them Serpentine Powder and suddenly they will do 47 plus 5 against melee infantry. So they mow down all melee infantry. And they mow down ranged units as well because they have 4.5 tiles of range. Which means they have better range than most of the hand, not all the hand cannoneer, but most of the hand cannoneer. Chinese hand cannoneer has better range, of course. So there is one more thing that we have to talk about. We talk about the relic collection on the HRE video. If you wish to know more about the relics collection, please watch the HRE video because I talk a lot about how the relics work. You must check out the HRE video and the relic talk. One more important thing to talk about with the OOTD is the Gilded Crossbowmen deal 20 damage against siege, which makes them a beast unit in the game that can deal really well against siege. So now as you see, this OOTD crossbowman has 30 damage plus 20 against heavy. Oh my god, 30 damage. Now you can get the Boltkin bolts, and now an OOTD hand cannon will do 50 damage against a siege unit. You will pop mangonels like pow pow pow. You will pop bombards like pow pow pow. You pop all the siege, expect rams of course, but you will pop most of the siege in the game with that upgrade, and it makes the unit crazily good. Gilded launch like that, having the best time in Imperial Age, you can see 39 damage! 39 damage with the launch sector, which means that's 59. Again, the reason behind that, because you have the plus 20 damage with the bleeding effect. So they actually do 59 damage and not 39. That's crazy good. Archers as well, when you research the extra range, now they have 7 tiles of range, so they become literally a lombowman. A giga lombowman. And you can see all the stats for the units, for the basic units are insanely good as well. There are no other tips and tricks for the OOTD because everything are the same. But I forgot to mention one little thing now I just realized when I did the HR video. I forgot to mention that you can put the relic inside a Stonewall Tower as well. Okay, this is the only thing I literally forgot to mention. You can put the relic inside the Stonewall Tower, and when you have Ragnitz Cathedral, this tower will give 160 gold per minute. Or if you have tight barns, it will give all the resources as well. So that's the little thing I forgot to mention when I did the HRE video. And also that you have a devoutness upgrade here for the HRE that gives that will give your villager faster construction under buff of prelate. And instead of 40%, you get a 50%. Now that for the OTD you don't have that, and you can't inspire villagers at all. There is no inspiration. So much easier to play with OTD because you can't inspire villagers. You don't need to. Alright, that's all about the OTD. See you guys next time.